Fearless Disease.
Joining us now, Tom Lee, Fundstrat Head of Research. Tom, great to have you with us. There's a lot of things to talk about with you in terms of the skepticism now around the AI trade, skepticism around Bitcoin. Are they, in fact, related, do you think?
Related, but not related.
Yeah.
You know, I think the AI trade, I mean, it's been a juggernaut, and we know that the visibility for the next few years is really good. But now investors are just trying to figure out how much to discount, you know, what's the appropriate price to put. And that could drive some profit taking because they've done so well this year. On the crypto side, I think that there has been some concerns about, you know, quantum, and then there was that huge deleveraging event on October 10th. But the crypto fundamental story, I mean, is exiting on a really high note this year. You know, the U.S. government passed legislation and regulations favorable for crypto. And we know Wall Street has expressed a lot of interest in building products on the blockchain. So it's almost like they both have great visibility, but the price levels are just what's being uncertain.
I feel like what's common, though, with both of these stories, though, Tom, is investors questioning the growth, the trajectory of growth going forward for both of these stories. Not to say that things will contract, but maybe growth won't be as strong as we've seen. We've hit the peak sort of growth rates in terms of the story. The maximum bullishness happened with Bitcoin when the administration came on board and things started to sort of go Bitcoin's way. Maybe that was peak sort of trajectory higher when it comes to growth. Same thing with AI. Now it's a period where you're sort of wondering, will this actually get funded after we saw this massive expansion? Yeah.
Well, in crypto, the best years are definitely ahead because today there's only 4 million Bitcoin wallets with $10,000 in it. There's 900 million IRA and brokerage accounts globally that have $10,000. So that's 200 times larger market. With regard to AI, I do think that the business models need to evolve. You know, you can't just charge $20 a month. I mean, really AI, agentic services, but the market ends up being huge because in the U.S., it's really making 130 million existing workers into super workers. I mean, that's a several trillion-dollar market just in the U.S. alone. So I think there's still opportunities.
When do you think?
FearlessDisease fam, today we expose the truth they hate to hear. Like right now, if you are ready. As you see, they start off the segment about Bitcoin. We've talked about it like this before. It's under 90,000 right now, but I think it's going to easily hit over 100 by next year Q1. It's still early from everyone. You see, he explained that there were 1,000 wallets that don't have about 10,000 within it. So that means it's still early for even middle class, even low class people to jump in to be able to create more generational wealth. Then he's going to skip over to what I've been looking for and why I came to this video about Nvidia. I think it's going to surge towards about 6 trillion to the market cap as AI demands explode. So stock is already up 2% on the new chip orders from hyperscalers. So let's hear what else they have to say about the video because as you see, it's already up right now. And it's going to be a big mover coming into the holiday season.
I think that we're going to see the tipping point on that front. And I think arguably you're seeing it a little bit maybe on the margins right now. But do you see a step change 18 months out from now? Is that 5 years out from now? It's because there's also questions, by the way, about some of these services and how valuable they are to people right now. And I know some CTOs and others who are actually saying, you know, we're actually not getting the value out of some of these products that we were hoping to.
Yeah, I think we're in what I'd call the bleeding edge phase, like where everything feels like the tech is in front of the applications. That happened in mobile, which I studied for 17 years, and in internet early days. You know, like when color phones first came out on mobile or even keyboards, people kind of sneered and said, you know, who's going to be using a color screen? And remember famously what happened when the iPhone was launched and how one of the biggest competitors.
They talk about cell phones, of course. So point out, you see Nasdaq is already coming into till Monday, starting off. We're already down about 1%, but that's going to skyrocket today, I think. Over the week, even though it is the last holiday week before Christmas, I think it's going to skyrocket a little bit higher. I see it's looking towards that 24, but I don't think it's going to go down.
Dismissed it and saying it's just a toy.
Right.
I think we're at that phase with AI where the capabilities will blossom and then services will follow. But that as you know, the future happens faster than many expect.
So if the business models of these players, which people commonly call the Mag 7 in general, need to change, then what does that do to the valuation? Are we rethinking the valuation? Because, I mean, one distinct change has definitely already happened, and that is asset light to asset heavy, spending on assets continues, et cetera. Is that reflected already, or does there need to be further adjustment?
I believe that AI stocks, especially stocks like Nvidia, are going to actually re-rate higher. Because if Walmart and Costco trade at 37 to 45 times earnings because they're predictable, then Nvidia shouldn't be 27 times. I also think the banks are really criminally undervalued right now, like a JP Morgan, because that's becoming a technology company. And in the past, people are stuck in the head that it should trade at 1 times book or 10 times earnings. I mean, they should trade more like a tech stock. So I think tech and financials.
Do you think that of all the banks? Or do you, I mean, JP Morgan in particular is invested obviously heavily in tech. But if I said JP Morgan and then I mentioned a bank 10 rungs down, would you say the same thing?
Well, it depends on how sort of evangelized a bank is towards adopting AI and being tech forward.
So, okay, on this screen right here, like is Wells Fargo on your list of tech forward banks?
Definitely.
Possibly. Goldman certainly is, and I think Morgan Stanley has shown a lot of evidence. So I think banks are sort of getting it, but they are really becoming technology companies.
So even at record highs?
Even at
You like
record
these
highs.
banks?
Yeah, he's making sense. I think all of them. We say it possibly, but I think every bank will go towards tech eventually because AI is growing very fast. We talked about Goldman Sachs yesterday, where they've already launched their ETF and they've put billions behind it because they know that AI is going to be the future. Tech is the future. So if they don't adapt to how the world is moving, they will be left behind, just like with any company if they don't move forward. But that's it for today. Smash the like, tap the next video on the screen, subscribe, hit the bell. CashApp FearlessDisease is always in the description if you are rocking with the movement. See you on the next one. Stay rich and stay fearless.